Hey, welcome back to the Jill Dick Show.
Hi, I'm Jill Dick.
And I'm Randy Lopez, your co-host. And today
we're also my best friend from Syracuse.
Yes,
Why must we have to forget that part? It's very important.
It's your part.
It's my part.
Thank you.
So we were talking about the difference between good sex and bad sex, right?
Yeah.
And there's an ocean of the difference between good sex and bad sex. So I would like Randy to tell me about what bad sex for him is.
Why do you give me bad sex first?
Over the good sex?
All right, I'll talk about
which is easier to talk about. Clearly,
bad sex
good.
first.
Yeah.
We all have had bad sex. And there's
bad, and then you want to forget that you're alive. Bad. Okay.
You know, when it comes down to it, it's just that you're not meeting on some level. There's a lack of attraction. There's a lack of connection. There's a lack of communication.
There's a lack of ability to know what the hell you're doing in bed. That's a big part. That's a big part of bad sex.
We've all been there. And
we've all had those nightmares.
Yeah. And, you hope the sex you're having is good sex. So why don't you talk about good sex?
Well, let me say one thing, though.
Let
me say one thing, though. People that usually you think that you could kiss and it's really good, you think, oh my God, we're going to have amazing sex. It's not always the case.
Chemistry.
The kiss should be like a leading in because it's the
warm-up. It's
the
warm-up.
Right. But I have to say, I've had good kisses and bad sex because they're intimidated by me. But it's about whether or not they're intimidated or not. It makes it so disappointing because we're ready for this rock and roll sex, and then we're like, that's it?
I think about the experiences that I've had, and usually I'd say 80% of the time when the kissing's there and you're just grooving and
it's flowing
and it flows into much better, greater, delicious things.
It does, and that means that right, okay, and that means that you're attracted to the person. You like the way they smell. You like the way they feel. It's it just
wait,
it's
let's
stop
right there.
It's natural.
What the fuck is the thing about
the smell?
People getting into the BO thing? That's
I
bad.
mean, what the hell is Crystal? Do not buy deodorant at Trader Joe's, okay?
I use Crystal. What are you talking about?
Please,
I don't smell.
You don't. You're one person that doesn't smell using Crystal, but that Crystal shit, man, it does not work.
It works
Go
for
to
me.
the store.
I've been using it for 20 years.
Soft and dry. Go to Axel. All that shit. I don't care if it's bad for the environment. At least just smell good.
Aluminum.
Sorry.
There's aluminum in it.
All right, whatever.
Goes to your brain.
Wait. Do you?
And then you get Alzheimer's.
Okay, fine. But let me ask you something. Right now, I have my brain sort of. But I want to ask you a question. Do you wear cologne?
Very little.
A little. So it kind of covers up the possibility of you having BO.
I'm just fresh and clean all around.
Well, you are. But you have the Aveda smell, which I like. It's a very fresh smell.
Let's get back to our topic.
Okay. So I think that bad sex is sort of like a movie. You see a bad movie and you don't want to go again. And I think bad sex for me is I sort of want to stay away until I feel like I'm ready to jump back in that sex pool because it turns me off and it doesn't make me feel good and usually for me I lie if it's bad sex. I'm like, oh my God, it was so good and thank you. And
Why?
What am I going to say? You know what? You sucked in bed. Well, actually, let me tell you something. I have told people after the fact when they can go screw themselves. I'd like, you were the worst in bed. The worst. You know what you were doing.
Well,
they fucking first graders. What the hell are you doing? We're in our 50s. Know what you're doing. Know how to please.
In my experience, it doesn't happen that often. But when it does happen, it's usually...
You're talking about the good sex.
No, I'm talking about the bad.
Oh, the bad.
It doesn't happen that often.
Well, let's talk about size. Let's just put it out there. Does size count? Yes! Of course it counts. What are we, stupid? Nobody wants a pencil penis. Nobody wants this. No. You can't even feel this. I mean, I need 20 of these to make it. And the truth is that the people that are insecure or that have this think this is like this. And I don't understand that. It's like a penis dysmorphia. It's like you don't have that big a dick. And when it's in, you don't even feel like it's in. And then you have to start getting out the toys and making up for it. It's a whole production.
I think it's individual. I think it's whatever turns you on. You
right.
know,
but we agree the girth is a very nice thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not going to disagree. It's like, who doesn't love a beautiful penis?
Right. And that's even
For me, it's
sexy.
more about beautiful. It's more about
yes.
You know, we've all seen ugly penis.
Yes.
We've all seen beautiful penis.
Yes.
All right, so...
And it's not really a really pretty small penis, to be honest.
It's small. And like you know what? God bless those people. God bless those people. I mean, that's what they were given.
Yeah. And they better make up for it in a lot of other ways, which is like tongue, wallet, take you on great vacations, because that's never going to work. Never. So
even those other things would never really...
I know, that's true. That's the truth. The orgasm is really like the pinnacle for me. The holy grail pinnacle of what a good orgasm is. And of course, women shake. We shake. I don't care what, you could fake it till you make it, but your legs are shivering, like you're shaking, like an earthquake. That is when you hit it, like you hit jackpot. And for a male, is it like after you ejaculate, is it just like a deep breath of like, oh my God, this is my life?
Well, it's the build up. For me, it's the experience of the process of the build up. And hopefully you're in sync with that person where you're going to have this explosive ending and you both get there at the same time, and it's fucking fantastic.
Okay.
I think it's different for women because women have the peaks and the valleys.
Yeah, it's the build up. I mean, the kissing's the build up, and then you start, you just figure out like, who's leading, because sometimes women, are not, I guess, aggressive enough to like do what they want to do or say what they mean to say, because women don't talk about what feels good and what doesn't, which is what I talk about in my sessions. I mean, women don't speak up. They just lay there, they take what they could take, and then it's over. And I'm like, why didn't you say anything? It's your job.
It's not all women.
No, men too. Oh my God, men too.
I'm just saying, it's a big generalization to say that all women don't do that. You do it. Right. I'm a good communicator. You're a good communicator.
We check in, and that's a very good point, by the way, is the takeaway, number one. Check in with your lover. Is it feel good? Does it not feel good? If they're wincing, you think, if they're holding the sheets, you're doing a great job. If they're like, if they look like they're like, oh my God, that hurts, I think you better stop. You're biting the nipple too hard. You're not taking it in. You're not doing
communication. Things. Bottom line is about communicating with your partner. We're all over the place today.
Right, we are. But I have to say, because this subject so excites me, but I also like the recap, which is afterward. Don't we love the recap? Do you do the recap in bed or you don't?
Depends upon the person.
But I like the recap. I like to say, how fucking good was that? Or...
I know, but does it go into more than that?
Okay, wait.
Or is it just
well, it depends. I like round 1 and 2. Like, I'll be like, when we can get to round 2. But that's only if it's good. If it's bad, there's a slow slide out. It's sort of like... so what are you doing tomorrow? It's like, it goes into like, oh, it's really hot outside. God, those Dodgers really suck. Yeah. I mean, it goes into like stupid conversation.
Well, when it's bad. And when it's bad, I think both people are just like, all right, let's end this. Let's move forward. Yeah. Whatever time of day or evening or whatever. You just want to get the fuck out of there because it's bad.
And you want to forget about it. Be done. But you do have to tell a friend. You have to tell one friend how bad it was to get it out of the system. Because it's almost like if you keep this bad secret of how bad the sex was, then you hold on to it like a scar. And then it just builds up like a mountain. And then you know what? You end up getting turned off to anybody who could come into your life because you haven't released that energy of like yickiness. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I mean, I'm kind of different. It's like, hey, it happens.
How are you different?
It happens every blue moon. And
you mean it being bad or good?
Being bad.
Yes, true. And very.
When it happens, you just move on. It's like, all right, for whatever reason.
But I will tell you this. I have heard more men say to me, I love to go down on women. Oh my God, I love to go down on women, blah, blah, blah. They act like, they're like wrestlers in the ring, like they're professionals. Let me tell you something. The people that have told me they are the best at it are the worst. Just shut your mouth and go down there. Do not discuss with me how good you are, because I'm expecting you to be a fucking champion. I'm expecting to walk away with a trophy. And you know what ends up happening? I'm like directing you. I'm totally disappointed and I'm freaked out because I'm waiting for the pinnacle to happen and it never happened.
Let's talk about good sex.
Great.
Let's talk
about good sex. Love good sex.
Is when, and
I can just feel it.
I have to share something very interesting that I just watched. So I watched this thing online, and there was this guy talking about when you're connecting with somebody and you're having conversation, and all of a sudden...
Are you talking about mentally and spiritually?
All of it. It's all happening. And he said what they have found is that your brain waves are in sync with the other person, which I thought was fascinating. I thought
did
it was
they
fascinating.
Do a test, like to show?
They hooked it up, and your brain waves are in sync with that other person's brain.
Oh my God. Well, because it's like you just know when you know.
You feel it. I mean, that's the feeling
I love
of the
that
connection.
they took tests and stuff.
Yeah.
How cool.
Which is way cool. And when you are having that connected experience, because for me it's about connection. You're feeling it.
It's for us. It's a connection, like the connection I have to you.
For everyone.
Which you've denied.
And we'll continue to deny.
It's not a subject we're going to discuss today. Okay, we've already covered it. I know, anyway. But it's still real. Anyway.
Moving back.
Let's move back.
Back.
I know somebody said you touch his chest. Screw you. I can touch his chest anytime I feel like it.
You can. That's an okay boundary.
Exactly. It's an okay, and he could touch mine too. Yeah. See? That's nice. I offered. This is what happens. Anyway. But I think that when I see couples that don't have good sex, and we talk about
we're on good sex.
No. But when I see couples who stop having good sex, I ask them if they ever did have good sex, and the answer is usually no. It's you really start off having good sex, and it just gets better and better because you get closer to them, you feel more intimate with them. I don't ever really think that you can go from bad sex to good sex if it's not there. It's like it's a spark. It's a spark.
Chemistry is chemistry, and there's some people in my lifetime that I would have never thought I had chemistry with, and it's like, whoa, you're seeing stars. It's so great. Sometimes you just can't predict chemistry.
But I will say this, that the chemistry that I've had, in my dating life after my divorce, I thought there was chemistry, and then once we hit the bedroom and they didn't know what they were doing, I lost all sense of any sort of connection, because I was like, it didn't move. We didn't move together, and I wasn't attracted anymore because it turned me off. Truthfully, I mean, I know I sound not nice, and I don't mean to be, and I'm not going to name you because I could name a couple of you guys who really would. But what I want to say,
you know who you are.
You know who you are. Okay, you know who you are, and you're never going to get good. But the truth is that when it's good, you're glowing. I'm like high. Aren't you high?
You get high.
I am high. I am as high as can be. I mean, and I wait for that. And I think the problem is that when we've been that high, we want to hit that high again, sure. like an addict wants that hit.
It becomes a threshold that you kind of want to repeat and experience with somebody else. You might not ever have that same experience. You can repeat that experience with a person, but it's very hard to recreate with another person.
Right.
You'll have a different kind of a connection, a high, or whatever, but it's hard because then you hold that bar. That bar is like, whoa, up there. And
we've both had great sex, and the problem, I think, for both of us is that our bar is high, and we also know how to give of ourselves. So when we know how to give of ourselves, and then we're not receiving, it becomes like crash and burn. And I think that's the problem. I think that's a really hard thing, which is why you and I are both not willing to be, we're very picky and choosy about who we decide to bed or get to know, or even on an intimate level.
Yeah. Hey, just go for it.
Listen, try. You have to try it out. But the truth is that the kiss leads into the foreplay, and if the kiss isn't going to work, it's really never going to work. You're not going to. It doesn't matter if he's hung like a horse. It doesn't matter if whatever's in the bank. It doesn't matter. It's like you're not going to feel it in your heart. You're not going to feel it in your stomach. And really, that's about connection. And
you're feeling connected to that person. You're giving. You're receiving. You're loving. And I think we covered it today.
I think we covered it. And we both now want to have sex from this. Thank you. That was what we needed to do. Bye. Have a great day.